Did you know that most people who sign up for gym memberships stop going within the first 3 months? It's rarely because they're lazy, and it's rarely because they're not disciplined enough. It's usually because they walk into the gym and just feel like they just stepped into a room where everybody got an instruction manual and they didn't. They don't know where to start. They don't know what equipment does what. They don't know if they're doing something wrong. They don't know what's normal. And the gym has a certain energy, like it's daring you to either belong or leave. So somewhere between the squat rack, the cable machine jungle, and the person deadlifting what looks like an entire dining room set, your brain goes,
yeah, this isn't for me.
And if you've ever thought that, or felt like you were one awkward moment away from turning around and never coming back, this video is for you. Because the truth is, the gym is not confusing because you're incapable. It's confusing because no one teaches beginners how to enter this world without feeling like a lost tourist. So today, I'm giving you the map. Today, I'm breaking down the ultimate beginner's guide to the gym, specifically focusing on strength training. This is a comprehensive guide for beginners who want to walk into the gym and feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing, or at least I know what I'm supposed to do. We're gonna cover why the gym feels intimidating and how to stop letting that control you. How to set realistic goals so you don't burn out in 2 weeks. Gym etiquette, aka the unspoken rules that make you feel like you belong. How to understand the layout and equipment so you stop seeing chaos and start seeing a plan. And I'm gonna tell you how I started at the gym, because I was not confident. I started just as awkward as everyone else. And then I'll also include my video on compound lifts for the foundation for building strength, muscle, and body composition without wasting time on random nonsense. But before we get into what to do, we have to address the reason beginners freeze in the first place. Let's say the quiet part out loud, shall we? The gym isn't hard at first because it's physically demanding. I mean, it is. It's hard because it's mentally overwhelming. When you're new, everything is loud. The sounds, the movement, the mirrors, the equipment, the people who seem like they know exactly what they're doing, and your brain goes into survival mode. That's why beginners don't just feel nervous, they feel exposed. You start thinking, am I in the way?
Is this taken? Where do I put my stuff? What if I look like an idiot? What if I do something wrong and somebody notices? Am I supposed to wipe this? Where's the wipe? Am I supposed to put this back? Am I breaking a rule? What is a set?
And here's the trap. Because you don't want to look lost, you don't ask questions. Fair enough. So you wander. So you do the safest thing. Usually it's cardio. Or you do random exercises you vaguely remember from somewhere. And then you leave feeling like you didn't really accomplish anything. Then the next day you're like, I don't want to go back because I still don't know what I'm doing. That's how people quit. That's how one New Year's resolution turns into next year's New Year's resolution. So I want to give you this mindset reset that immediately turns the volume down. 1, everyone had a day 1. Every person you see in the gym, every confident person, every jacked person, every I live here person, they started somewhere. They walked in and didn't know what they were doing. They didn't start knowledgeable. They didn't start coordinated. They didn't start confident. They started by not knowing what they were doing and doing it anyway, or asking questions. And 2, most people are focused on themselves or silently encouraging you. And I mean that. People are thinking about their form, their playlist, their stress, their day, their body, their progress, their own insecurities. They're not watching you like you're the main character in their day. And that's a good thing. If anything, there are 2 types of people in the gym. People who are completely in their own bubble, and people who see a beginner and think, good for them. So if you're worried you'll be judged, remember this. Most judgment comes from your own brain trying to protect you, not from the room. Now that we've removed the emotional fog, we can make the gym practical. And the most practical thing you can do as a beginner is stop making your goal do everything and start making your goal do the right few things. That starts with goals. Step 1, set realistic goals. Before we touch equipment, your first job is to set a goal that doesn't sabotage you. Please. Beginners usually fall into one of 2 extremes. Extreme number 1, the beginner overachiever. I'm going 6 days a week, I'm changing my entire life, I'm doing cardio and weights and abs twice a day, I'm meal prepping, and I'm waking up at 5 a.m. Done. New era, who is she? And then reality hits. You get sore, You get tired, your schedule gets busy, you miss a day, you don't want to go. And because the goal was perfection, missing a day feels like failure already. Or extreme number 2, the beginner wanderer. They show up with no plan, do whatever machine looks least intimidating, leave and repeat that for weeks. And because there's no progression or progress, they don't feel or see results. And when you don't see or feel results, motivation dies. So here's the sweet spot goal. Your job as a beginner is not to be intense, it's to be consistent. A realistic beginner goal looks like this. I'm going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. I'm going to learn basic movement patterns. I'm going to build the habit of showing up. I'm going to get comfortable in the environment. That might not sound very exciting, but that's the whole foundation. That's what you can build on. Because when you build the habit first, you can build literally anything on top of it. And a good beginner schedule is simple. 2 to 3 strength sessions per week. Repeating the same core exercises weekly, tracking reps and weight, and progressing them. Please don't surprise your body. Your body is not a raccoon. It doesn't need novelty. It needs repetition and progression. And once your goal is realistic, you'll immediately feel less pressure. And less pressure makes it easier to walk in and actually learn. Which brings us to the next thing, which stops beginners. The fear of doing something wrong socially. So let's handle gym etiquette. Step 2, understanding gym etiquette. Gym etiquette is basically just how to exist in this place without feeling like you're breaking rules. Being a nice person, being a decent human being. And once you understand it, your anxiety drops because you're not guessing. Here are the big ones. Wipe down equipment after you use it. Not like you're disinfecting surgery room, just a quick wipe. It's respect. You want someone to do that for you, do it for them. Put your weights back. If you can lift it, you can return it. Not optional. You'll see even experienced gym goers don't do it. Don't be like that. If something is taken, don't hover. Just ask. Something simple like, hey, how many more sets do you have left? That's normal. That's gym language. Nobody thinks it's weird. That way they know that you're waiting and you can find out how long to wait for. And resting is allowed. Beginners think they're supposed to keep moving nonstop like they're in the way. No. Strength training requires rest. If you're doing it right, you need rest between sets. Don't be afraid of it. And you don't need to apologize for being there. Beginners tend to move like they're trespassing. You're not. You're a paying member of this gym. You belong here. And be mindful of being on your phone. Now that you understand the social rules, you stop feeling like you're about to accidentally embarrass yourself. Now we can move into this physical space, what you're actually looking at and what's worth your attention. So let's simplify the gym floor so it stops feeling like a maze. First, you have the cardio area where there's treadmills, bike, ellipticals, rowers, Jacob's ladder, Stairmaster. This is where beginners often start because it's clear. It has buttons, it tells you what to do. And listen, if cardio is what helps you get through the door at first, great, perfect. Because early on, the win is showing up. But strength training is what changes your body composition, builds muscle, builds strength, improves posture, improves density, improves metabolism. Like, this is where the real return is. So cardio can be a part of your plan, but it shouldn't be the whole plan if your goal is strength and muscle. Next, after that, there are the machine areas or pin-loaded machines or guided movement. Machines are helpful because they reduce stability demands. They guide the movement path. They can help you feel the target muscles. They're less mentally taxing when you're new, and they have a cute little diagram of where you're supposed to feel it and what you're supposed to do. And no, using machines doesn't mean you're not doing real workouts. It means you're learning how to train without needing to solve a physics equation at first. Next, there's the free weights area where there's dumbbells, benches, and barbells. This is where people get intimidated because it feels like real gym, but it's only intimidating because it's more open. There's no crutch. There's less structure. It requires more coordination, which is why beginners should approach it with a plan, not fear. Finally, there's the functional and mat area where you can do core work, mobility work, stretching, and body weight exercises. This area is often the perfect bridge for beginners because you can take space, move at your own pace, no one's watching you, practice basic patterns, build confidence without pressure. Now, when it comes to exercises, here's the simplest truth. If you want strength training to actually work, you need to prioritize movements that give you the biggest payoff. For that, I want you to watch my video on compound lifts because they are the foundation of your strength program. This is where you'll find squats, hinges, presses, pulls. These are the big rocks. Everything else is accessory. Everything else is a different modality you can add to those movement patterns. Which leads me to my first day. Let me tell you how I started, because it was not cute. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't Instagram worthy. I was fresh to New York City. I picked the cheapest gym I could find, just a couple blocks from my school, because proximity matters and I could see myself going to that gym every day. And most importantly, $10 a month, I could afford it. If it's too far, you'll talk yourself out of it. Close gyms remove excuses. At first, I wasn't lifting. No, I wasn't lifting anything, actually. I wasn't doing intense workouts. I would go after school, bring my bag, change, and walk on the treadmill. Yes, I would walk on the treadmill. In New York City, I would pay money to go to the gym to walk on the treadmill. But the treadmill wasn't about cardio. It was about the habit. I block out the time. I bring the bag. I change the clothes. I exist in this space. I get comfortable being here. Because there's a phase of gym progress that nobody talks about. The phase where you're building identity before you're building strength. Eventually, I got a little bolder and went to the mat area. I did some core work. Nothing crazy. I did glute bridges like they were going out of style. Just enough to feel like I wasn't hiding on the treadmill anymore, and I could feel what a pump really kind of felt like. Then I moved on to the machines after 6 weeks of staying at the mats. I think we've all been there. With the machines, you walk by slowly past the machine, pretending, you're not looking, just walking just very slowly past the same machine over and over, trying to figure out how to use it without actually stopping to actually read what you're supposed to do, because you want to look like you're an expert from day one. You have to try not to make it obvious. Casual scroll, side eye, casual stroll, side eye, trying to see, where do my feet go?
That handle for my arms? Where's my head supposed to be? Does it have 7 attachments? Is it for a human being? Why is there a seatbelt on there? Where am I gonna go?
I do the classic beginner move, watch someone else, try not to look creepy, but, well, I was. Eventually I'd try it, just, casually. Oh, realize I did it wrong. I'm upside down. My head is supposed to be where my feet are. But guess what? No one laughed. No one clapped. No one called the gym police. And that's the point. Confidence doesn't come first. Reps come first. Exposure comes first. Being awkward comes first. Confidence is what you earn after you survive the few I don't know what I'm doing moments. I'm still here. I figured it out. Starting at the gym can be straightforward and rewarding once you understand. You don't need confidence to start. Confidence is built by repetition. You don't need to do everything. In fact, you shouldn't. You need to do the next right step consistently. Begin small. Build the habit. Expand your comfort zone. You'll be surprised at how good you are at it. The gym isn't a test you pass. It's a skill you learn. And if I can learn it, you can learn it. And trust me, it's full of people who want you there. So if you're a beginner, what are you the most nervous about? What's holding you back? What's your biggest fear of walking into the gym? What's the one thing you wish someone would just explain? And if you've been going for a while, leave encouragement for beginners, because I promise you, they're reading the comments. They want to know that you're out there and that you care. And when you're ready for the, okay, now what exercises should I actually do piece, go watch my video on the best compound exercises for fat loss and muscle gain, because that's your foundation for building strength, muscle, and confidence without wasting time. I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you at the gym.